Hello! In this video we will be discussing how to create custom forms in NetSuite. We will discuss custom forms, steps in creating, and actions for both entry and transaction forms, transaction forms, and entry and transaction form configurations. Pages used to enter information into the NetSuite database are known as forms. You can customize the standard set of forms provided with your NetSuite account to better suit your business needs. Renaming fields to better match your business workflow and terminology, or reorganizing subtabs are examples of customization. After you have created a custom form, it can be set as a preferred or default form for a page, or selected as needed from a custom form list. Settings on the Custom Forms page, as well as settings defined for each role, is how the form preferences are controlled. Specified role settings override the preferred form settings on the Forms page. Only one form is ever made available to Employee Center roles due to limited access. To create a custom entry or transaction form, log into NetSuite. Navigate to Customization and select Forms. When the Custom Entry Form page pops up, go to the type of form you want to customize and click Customize. Click Customize or Edit next to the form name. At Customization, select Forms. Then select Entry Forms Administrator. Or click Customize or Edit next to the form name at Customization. Select Forms. Then select Transaction Forms Administrator. Customer Center and My Account section of your website use forms labeled as External. Enter a name for your custom form in the Name field. Set the custom form properties. Options vary depending on the type of form being customized. After you have created a custom entry form, you can set it as the default form for your user's roles. Create a transaction that uses the form and then use the list to select the custom form that you created to view your custom form. Here's a sample of a customer entry form. Here's a sample of a bill transaction form. To set the form as a preferred form, check the box under the Preferred column. Checking this box clears any previously defined preferred forms. Only one form can be defined as a preferred form per transaction type. The preferred form is automatically used when entering transactions of this type. You may set a standard or custom form as preferred. This applies to transaction forms as well. Marking an entry or transaction form preferred for the Customer Center role. External forms are forms with names appended with external and can be marked preferred for Customer Center roles, but not for other roles. Forms that are not external cannot be marked preferred for Customer Center roles. When a non-online order form is marked preferred for Customer Center, it is saved as the form for the order. However, an online form is not saved as the form for an order, even if it is preferred. Instead, the preferred non-online order form is used. Store form with record option is disabled by default for custom entry forms. For this subset, this option is enabled by default. For other transaction forms, this option is not available, and custom forms are always stored with records. Only one form is made available for Employee Center roles due to limited access. The form set on the role record takes precedence over the preferred form set here. In NetSuite, if a custom form is stored with a record, a user who accesses that record gets that form, even if that form is not enabled for their role. The form you use to enter information and create entity records in NetSuite is an entry form. Create your own custom entry forms by starting with an existing form and then rearranging and renaming fields and subtabs, hiding or disabling certain fields, hiding or renaming buttons, making specific fields mandatory, adding custom fields, or applying custom code. You use an entry form to enter information and create entity records in NetSuite. You can create your own custom forms as stated on the last slide. To allow Enable Field Editing on a list, check Inline Editing on this form. Inline Editing allows users to edit fields on this form from within the record view. When enabled, fields that can be edited from within the record view display the Inline Editing icon. It also provides a new menu that lists options to create new related records. Entity forms, item forms, and custom record forms have the capability of use for pop-ups. Check to use this form in pop-up windows when you add a record of this type from another record. For each type of form, only one form can be set as the pop-up form. When set for a new form, the form previously defined as the pop-up form is unset. This form is also available on the standard record page in the custom form list. Pop-up only. When use for pop-ups is checked, the form can only be used when adding a record of this type from another record. If the form is a standard pop-up form, you cannot change the form in the pop-up window. For standard forms, the custom form list is available in the pop-up window, and the options available include this form and the standard forms. The form you use to enter and print transactions in NetSuite is a transaction form. You can create your own custom transaction forms by starting with an existing form and then rearranging and renaming fields and subtabs, hiding or disabling certain fields, hiding or renaming buttons, making specific fields mandatory, adding custom fields, or applying custom code. Allow, Add Multiple, and Printing Type are fields you will see in the transaction form. Allow Add Multiple, clear to hide the Add Multiple button on transaction item list. You should turn off this option on any forms that rely on custom code line item validation scripts. This is because the Add Multiple button is displayed on item machines and let you add multiple items at a time to the item list. However, when items are added in this manner, any validate line custom code events defined for the form will not fire. Printing type, available only when the advanced PDF HTML templates feature is enabled. The basic option that is selected by default enables you to set the custom form to use transaction form PDF layouts and HTML layouts. Choose the advanced option to set the custom form to use an advanced PDF/HTML template instead. Note: forms that will be used by a customer center role must have printing type set to basic. The following two forms are available only when the advanced PDF/HTML templates feature is enabled and the printing type is set to advanced. Print template. Select a template to be used when transactions associated with this form are printed. And email template. Select a template to be used when transactions associated with this form are emailed. Select a layout for your form for transaction form PDF layouts and transaction form HTML layouts. To customize layouts, click the Custom Layouts link in the upper right corner of the page. Standard and Classic layouts exist for all the standard form types other than shipping label. These are assumed to be printed using PDF. To customize layouts, click Customize. Remittance Slip. Specify which remittance slip is used on invoices, statements, return authorizations, and packing slips. To prevent the current transaction from printing with a remittance slip, select None. Note that to use this feature, the Print Remittance form with invoices and statements preference must be turned on. Disclaimer: enter a policy statement or message. You can enter up to 4,000 characters, including spaces, for this message. Address: enter an address to be used only on this form. If you do not enter an address, the default address entered under Setup, Company, Setup Task, Company Information Administrator is used. Select a logo to be used only on that form. You must first upload the image to your file cabinet at Documents, select Files, then select Images. If you do not select a logo, the default logo selected at Setup, Company, Setup Task, Company Information Administrator is used. Moving fields and lists between subtabs. Click Save and Move Elements. Your form is saved, and the Move Form Elements page opens. On the Fields subtab are a list of fields that appear on each subtab on the form you are customizing that include fields. Subtabs with list, for example the Contact subtab on entry forms or the Items subtab on transactions, are shown on the list subtabs of the Move Form Elements page. For each field on each subtab, select the subtab you want that field to show on. Note: you can also select multiple fields and move them to a subtab to set the drop-down list on those fields. At any time, you can click Save and Move More, which saves your field changes and reloads the page with the fields now moved to the specified subtab. Click the List subtab. Select the subtab you want each list to appear on. It is possible to move a field or list to a subtab that is not displayed since it does not contain items of that type, fields or lists respectively. When a field or list is moved to a previously empty, undisplayed subtab, you cannot move the field back until the Move Form Items page is saved. If you need to move a field again, you can return to the Move Form Items page and move it after you have saved. Click Save to return to the Custom Form page. On the Field Groups subtab, click the main subtab to customize field groups that appear in the main body area of a page. Click any of the other field group subtabs to customize the field groups that appear on a form's subtabs. To configure fields or screens, check the boxes next to the fields you want to display in the Show column. Clear the boxes for the fields you don't want to display. To configure buttons and actions, go to Actions. Select Standard Actions on the Custom Form page. Navigate to Actions tab and select Custom Actions subtab to add a custom action. For all subtabs, check the boxes next to fields you want to appear on printed and emailed forms and clear the boxes for fields you don't want to appear on printed and emailed forms in the Print Email column. Edit the labels of the fields as desired in the Label column. To configure lists, check the boxes for the list you want to display on the form and clear the boxes for the list you don't want to display in the Show column. In the Script File field, using the drop-down arrow, select the Client Suite Script file that contains the desired scripts for this form. Mark the Preferred checkbox for the role you want to assign the form with under the Roles tab. The Disclaimer field can have up to 4,000 characters and appear at the bottom of the form indicated. You may also enter by navigating to Setup, select Company, select Preferences, Select Printing and Fax Administrator. This is the disclaimer field in the custom transaction form. To link transaction forms, open the list of forms that contains the form you want to create a linkage from. Click Customize or Edit next to the form you want to link from. Click the Linked Forms subtab. A list of the transactions that you can convert to from the type of transaction form you are customizing is shown. For example, if you are customizing an estimate form, you can set linkages for cash sales, invoices, and sales orders. To configure subtabs for custom entry and transaction forms, check the boxes for the subtabs you want to display on the form and clear the boxes for the subtabs you don't want to display in the Show column. Edit headings for subtabs as desired in the Label column. To rearrange the subtabs, click the desired line to drag and drop to the desired position, or click Move to Top, Move to Bottom. I hope this helps in creating custom forms. Thank you for watching. If you have further questions, you may email NetSuite at a2q2.com. Thank you.